Hey, what's up, Musers? This is John at Muse for You, here to help you build awesome websites without code. And I have a really fun video tutorial for you today. We're going to be recreating a yoga website and adding an appointment booking system to it as well. So yeah, if you do yoga or if you have a business where you offer a service, hopefully this will be helpful for you. I know I have a few friends that do yoga. I've done yoga a few times myself. Can be a bit stressful at times, but it's fun and you feel really good afterwards. So in this video tutorial, we're going to recreate this website. So I'll go to File, Preview Page in Browser, and here's the website. Okay, here's some animation here with the Muse Motion 2 widget. We have some sound in the background, and I can mute the sound by clicking here. In this on this button here. This is the mute unmute audio widget, and here we're using the composition widget from Adobe Muse. And if I scroll over it, we have some text here. It says, "Hi, my name is Stephanie and I've been a yoga instructor for over 10 years. I run my own yoga studio in town. Here you will find a schedule of my classes and a place to book your first class. First class is free." Okay, and then here we see it says book now, first class is free. And if we scroll, we have some text, the different schedule for the classes, and we have the booking here. Here we're using a booking system from squareup.com. I could have added my logo here, which I might do in this video tutorial, but you can just go to SquareUp and I'll go over that and we'll set up the booking system. So the first class, if you click on book now, you can pick your date here in the calendar, and then once you pick your date, so let's say I pick the 29th, I can select my time. I can set these up in SquareUp as well. Let's say I say 9:30. I'll just type in my name, email, John at museforyoushop.com, phone number, and book appointment. All right, so we'll say R, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, and then book appointment. I can say, are there mats? For optional, you can set appointment notes. So I'll say, are there mats at the yoga studio, in case I need to bring my own mat or anything. So I'll book appointment. Okay, phone number is invalid. Okay, so I'm not going to enter in my real phone number here, but once I enter in my phone number, I can book the appointment. Then I would get, as the booking person or the person who's offering the service, I get an email to my email address telling me about this new appointment, and SquareUp has an app as well that you can use to see your appointments. All right, so there we've scheduled that, and I'm just going to refresh or preview the site again. File, preview page in browser, and I'll mute the audio here so we can so there's not audio in the background. So the first class is free, and let's say I've gone to the first class, I can book the second class, which is $35 for the hour. Don't know what yoga instructors really charge, but we'll just say that. And then again, I can just fill all this out, and then here it says payment is required, so you can pay, you can set up the payment requirement before they go to the class, or you can have them pay at the class. And what's great about SquareUp, they have the Square card reader. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but it's this little yellow, not yellow, this little white square that you can attach right into your mobile phone and accept credit card payments right on your mobile phone. So if you have a class and you can just have a phone with you, your mobile phone, and once the class is over, before it starts, you can just process payments on your phone. So that's really cool there, or you can have them pay online before they go to your class. Okay, and you can set up a cancellation policy in case someone wants to cancel or anything like that. And then here we're using another widget that's in Adobe Muse. It's the Google Maps widget, so you can set your location there. So that's a lot of fun there. And for the menu, I'm using the wave menu. I figured it's kind of a cool effect. The whole idea of yoga, I feel sometimes it's very fluid. So I decided to use the wave menu to add more fluidness to the website, so I like that. And then I also styled the scroll bar here to match the colors of the website, so we can see that the scroll thumb here is green and the background is white there. All right, so we have that, and yeah, I animated this here with the Muse Motion 2 widget. And if I click on book now, first class is free, it takes us to the booking section. The menu has anchors, so it goes to those different anchor points and we have that one page scrolling website. All right, so this website was a lot of fun to build. Shouldn't take too long to rebuild. I didn't go into the responsive too much, but we can already see it's fairly responsive. The menu is responsive, the image is responsive. We just have to change the text and this composition widget here. Yeah, so we just have to make the text smaller, reposition the text, and things like that. So, and I added kind of some scroll easing to the website as well. And this, the appointment section is responsive. So let me just make it a little bit bigger here. We can see it's responsive. Let me close the menu here. It is responsive here. So if you want to have it on a mobile device, your visitors or anyone going to your class can sign up on a mobile device as well. All right, and I didn't play too much with the mobile device, but I know Square is a really great technology, and I think they have all the bases covered as far as booking on mobile devices and things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into the video tutorial and recreate this entire website. So the first thing I want to do is go to File, New Site, and I'll click OK, and I'll double click on my home page here. The first thing I want to do is create that animation that I had initially with the Muse Motion 2 widget. So I'll just go to my Adobe Muse website, I'll go to Images, and I believe I have it here. Yes, here, and I'll right click, open with Adobe Illustrator, and I'll click yes. Okay, so I just want to grab, I'll just ungroup all of these elements here, and I just want to grab kind of this lady here doing this yoga pose. So I'll hit Command C to copy, go into Muse, and then hit Command V to paste. Now this one I was able to copy right from Illustrator because there wasn't too many lines or too many details to this image, so I just copied it from Illustrator. With the leaves, when I try to copy it from Illustrator, so if I ungroup these leaves and I'll copy this leaf here and I'll paste into Muse, we can see that this leaf loses some of the detail in it, like the different purple here is not so visible, and if I copy this green one, it completely, you don't see that other leaf inside there as well. It's just completely green. So these I just copied individually and just created a new artboard in Illustrator and then pasted, then went to Object, Artboards, Fit to Artwork Bounds, and I'll zoom out, and then I just made the artboard a little bit bigger so none of the edges get clipped here in the artboard. And then I just went to File, Save for Web, and then make sure the transparency is set, save it as a PNG 24, click Save, and then in the Images folder, I just saved it as like Muse for you leaf. I'll just call it leaf 6, but I saved it as like leaf 2 or leaf 1, and just saved the 5 different leaves here in my folder, so I could just drop it into Adobe Muse. So I'll delete these here, and again I just want to leave this lady here with the yoga pose. I'll go into Adobe Muse and I'll just select these 5 leaves here, click, hold, and drag, and place onto my Adobe Muse website. Now because I wanted to match the exact image in this Illustrator file, kind of this vector here, what I did is I just selected all these elements, just hit Command C to copy, go into Muse, and Command V to paste. And then I right clicked, arrange, send to back, so it doesn't interfere with me selecting these elements. And I just lined it up exactly to this lady here. All right, this yoga pose here. Looks good. And then what I did is just place the leaves right over the leaves here on this background image. Okay, looks good. Looks good. All right. And then this one here, we'll do the green one here. And as you can see, we have the detail there when we saved that as a PNG, and I think the detail makes it look quite nice, kind of having that darker color in the leaf there. All right, so there's our image. So I'll go to the layers panel and I'll select, don't want to lock it there. I'll select this image frame in the back, and then right here, and then just delete it. All right, so we're just left with the lady and the leaves. I was able to delete it because it was the last image here because we sent it all the way to the back. So I just selected it here with this little box here, and then just hit the delete button on my keyboard. All right, so there's our little or the illustration there. So to animate this, these different elements, what I'm gonna do is click on the lady first, and then I'll click on graphic styles. If you don't see your graphic styles panel, you can just go to window and click on graphic styles, and that'll bring up the graphic styles panel. So I'll click it here and it'll bring it up. And then here I'll click on the little icon here that says create a new style from the attributes applied. So I'll click there. It kind of looks like a piece of paper with a folded corner. And then here we have a new graphic style. So I'll double click and I'll call this motion 1. So I want to go in sequence because in the Muse Motion 2 widget, the way the animations are in sequence, the graphic style names are motion 1, motion 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, up to 8. So here I want this lady to animate first. Then I want to click on this leaf. I want this leaf to animate second. So I'll create a new graphic style again, clicking the icon here. And then I'll rename the graphic style, motion 2. Click on this leaf here, new graphic style, double click, motion 3. Click on this leaf here, new graphic style, double click, motion 4. Here, click on this leaf here, graphic style, new graphic style, double click, motion 5. Click on this leaf here, graphic styles, new graphic style, double click, and motion 6. All right, and that is it. So now what I'm gonna do is bring in the Muse Motion 2 widget. Yeah, Muse Motion 2. So I'll type in 2D transformations because I just want a 2D transformations. There's not gonna be any 3D animation or transformation in it. So I'll select the 2D transformations sequence, or actually before I do that, what I'll do is go to the Muse Motion 2 widget right here because I want to add the Add First widget at the very top. So I'll click, hold, and drag and place onto my Adobe Muse website. And then I can bring in the 2D transformations sequence because I'm going to have a sequence of animations. And because I'm just going to have these elements fade in, I actually don't need to add any transformations to these elements. All I have to do is bring in the widget. And if I go to File, Preview Page, and Browser, the lady fades in and all of the elements fade in after, which is what I want. I don't want any rotation or anything. I just want them to fade in nicely. Now the fade in is a little bit slow, so I'm just going to go into the Muse Motion widget and I'm going to change the time scale to 2 so that all the elements animate one after another a little bit quicker. So I'll go to File, Preview Page, and Browser, and there we have the leaves animating one after another. Looks great. So the next thing I want to do, we're done with this animation. The next thing I want to do is bring in that image of the lady doing yoga. So I'm going to create a rectangle and I'm going to set the height to 500 pixels and I'll stretch to browser width. Okay, so there we have the rectangle. I'll go to Fill, Add Image, and I have the image here of this lady. I got it from Dollar Photo Club, which is going to be Adobe stock on April 15th. So for the fitting, I want to scale to fill and position her in the center. And then I want to right click, arrange, and send to back so that we have the animation in front and she's behind the animation, or the image is behind the animation. And it actually just worked out where this lady was kind of doing a similar pose to this vector here, which ended up being really, really nice and kind of going with the website there. So that's the image and the animation here. Now, what I did for this website was I sampled all of these colors of the leaves so that I can match the website colors to this animation. So to do that, what I did was go to Browser Fill, and then I select the Sample Color tool. So I'll sample the purple, and then here where it says Add Swatch, I clicked on Add Swatch, and then click OK, and this adds it to the swatches panel. All of these colors that you see here, this adds that color to the swatches panel. Okay, and then I'll click again and I'll sample this green color. We can barely see it there, but I sampled it. Add swatch, click OK. I'll sample this yellow color, add swatch, click OK. I'll sample this pink, add swatch, click OK. I'll sample this blue, add swatch, and click OK. And again, it's that little icon, excuse me, that little icon that looks like a piece of paper with a folded corner. So here I have all the colors from the leaves, and now if I want, I can sample or use these colors on the website. All right, so I'll just set the browser fill back to white, or for this website, I set the browser fill to this green color, which I kind of liked there. Okay, so there we have the image, the colors, and the animation. Yeah, the animation, image, and the colors. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I actually just jump into the Square Up appointment booking system, just so we can look at that right away on this website. So I'll just go to my browser, I'll type in squareup.com, and I'll go into my account. So here I am in my account. If you don't have an account, you can just go to Square Up and create an account. The appointment system is, you can do a 30-day free trial, and then it's $30 a month to have the appointment system, which I think is a really good price if you do have a lot of clients and you're getting a lot of bookings and a lot of classes. I think it pays for itself pretty much after just having the system and making it easy for anyone to book a class with your service. So here we can see we can download the Square Register app, take a card payment without a reader, link your bank account, get free processing. I'm not going to go too much into detail with this. That would be more personal on your end as far as linking all of that information. But you see we have a customer section, you can have an employee section, and just all this great stuff. But the one that we're going to work with in this video tutorial is the appointment section. So if I click here and we let it load there. Okay, here we go. So here we can download the Square Appointments iPhone app. I haven't downloaded that yet because I don't really have a class service like that. So if you did, you could download the iPhone app and have a really cool app that you could take payments with and look at all your appointments. You can set up your calendar. You can protect yourself from no-shows, which is pretty cool. So here's the overview. I want to click on the calendar. Here we can see if you have any appointments, you have a calendar here. And the main section, the most important section, is the online booking. So here, Square Up, you can actually set up your own booking site, which I probably shouldn't be saying because I'm really promoting and advertising Adobe Muse. But if you did want to go that route, they do have a site like that. I like working with Adobe Muse because there's more customizable features and it's just totally free form, and you can design the website how you would like. And then you can just really easily implement the appointment system into Adobe Muse. So the main section that we want to work with here is the website embed. And all we need to do to embed the booking system onto our website is copy this code here. And that's all you need to do. It's that easy. So I'll hit Command C to copy, and then I'll hit Command V in Adobe Muse to paste. And I have my booking system. So here I'll select this the booking system here, and then in the resize I'll say stretch to browser width, just like that, and there is my booking system. So now if I go to File, Preview Page in Browser, we have the booking system right here, yoga first class. I can book now, go through all the dates, and that's great. And then I can do the service here. I can book now, and if I already did a first class, I could book a second class with the $35 rate. I think some yoga classes, the ones I've been to, are like $20 an hour, but there's different yoga teachers out there, so I don't want to say the price or anything like that. It's kind of how you want to go about pricing your yoga classes or any class you teach. Okay, cool. So that's the website embed, and the other section we want to focus on here is the services section. Here I've created the yoga class, the first class, 1 hour. So if I click on it, you can give the class a title, a description, how long is the service. You can block off some time. Here it says add additional time to the end of this appointment for cleanup, transitioning, travel, etc. Clients will not be able to see or book appointments during blocked off time, which is really nice. And then for the pricing, you can set a fixed price starting at free. You can set it to free, price varies, call us, or blank there. So if you want them to call you before they set up the class, you can just set that up here. And then for the online booking visibility, you can set service visible to client during online booking. When enabled, the service will appear in your booking site and embedded widgets. This will not affect your ability to choose it when you create an appointment. So if you want it to show up on your online booking system, like I just showed a few minutes ago, then you'll want this checked so that it's visible to anyone going to your class. If you didn't want to, let's say, offer a free class for online booking, you would just take off, uncheck this for your first class. So let's just do that real quick, and then I'll click save, and then I'll preview this in the browser, and we'll see if it updates here. And let's give it a second, and it does. You see we don't have the free class anymore because we updated it in the square up section here. I do want that first class visible for online booking, so I'll say yes, that first free class. And then here I created another service, and this one is at a fixed price at $35. And then you can create another service if you want. You can just click here at create service, and then give it a name. I'll just call it another service. And description, I'll say another service, just like that. Hours, we'll say 1 hour. Don't want any block off time. Fixed price, we'll say 20, 20, or we'll leave it at 35. We'll keep the same rate. Could be maybe a special advanced yoga class, or yeah, let's do that. Let's say advanced yoga, which something I wouldn't probably attend to because I'm like super beginner. All right, so I'll click save, and then let's preview this in the browser again. File, preview page in browser, and advanced yoga is right there, and I can book now and everything like that. So that looks good. So I just went to the settings section, and it showed my phone number, so I'm not going to go into the settings. But in the settings, you can upload an image, which I'm going to do, and then I'm going to come back to this screen just because I don't really want to show my phone number, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I've just added an image to my appointment booking system. So now I'll go to File, Preview Page in Browser. I'll scroll down, and there's my Muse for You logo. So that's all in the settings section. You can put your address in the settings section, your phone number, and a few other options here in settings. Here you can add staff and look at your clients as well in this section. So that's all squareup.com. They have an app, and it's just really easy to create a booking system with SquareUp. I think there are a few other alternatives out there that are free, but I think SquareUp really does a good job with offering an app and making it really easy to book appointments and even change appointments for your website, and to offer an appointment system on your website. And in this case, it would be an Adobe Muse website. All right, so there we have the SquareUp appointment feature. Now the rest is going to be really kind of simple. It's just going to be adding text. So let me zoom out. And just to save a little bit of time, I'm just going to copy the text from this first website. So I'm just going to select all of this text and go back in here and paste. I know it's kind of a little bit like cheating, but I'm just going to save some time for this video tutorial. And it was really easy to add text. I mean, all you have to do for text is just create the text box, set the text size. And I actually copied this text here from a website called Pan Ipsum, which is Yoga Lorem Ipsum. They have Lorem Ipsum for like every topic. So I'll just click here, and I'll type in yoga, or here we'll have yoga poses, and then generate Ipsum. And here we have kind of like some yoga Ipsum, which is like dummy text for like a dummy text for your website when you're designing it. So, and it just has yoga words in it. And then I just, what you can do here is just select the text you want and then just paste. And then I just change the text to white, and the size I made it like 18, or no, I left it at 14. And that's all I did for that. And then, I created some text here for these elements. I grouped all of the titles and the text, and then I aligned to selection, and then I distributed the spacing vertically so that there's even spacing between the text. Here I just created some text, and I changed the text to the size to 48 and changed the color to white, and I'm using a Carm web font here. You want to make sure you use a web font because you want browsers to know what your content is about for search engine purposes. If you use a system font, the browser cannot read what is on your website because it uses the text as an image. So make sure you use a web font, or if you want search engines to be able to read what is on the page, for search engine purposes and finding what text is on your page and what's relevant. So when someone's searching, you want to make sure that you use a web font. Okay, so we've covered that, the text. The next thing I'll do is, here, let me bring this down a little bit. I'll add the Google Maps. So I'll just go to Object, Insert Widget, Social, and I'll say Google Maps here. Yeah, Google Maps, I'll click, and there we have it. Let me zoom out a little bit. I'll hit Command minus, and there we have the Google Maps. Don't want to zoom in that much, just kind of zoomed in too much. And here I'll select the Google Maps and I'll say stretch to browser width, just like that. All right, and here we can enter in the coordinates, or yeah, we can enter in the address, and it'll bring the address up here on the Google Maps. I'm just going to use the, what am I using now? The Adobe Systems default location there, because I don't have a yoga studio or anything. So here I'll select classes, this title here, and I'll paste, and I'll put it right above, oh yeah, let me put it right above the booking system, so we have our different sections. And I'll just say booking, just like that, and then I'll paste again, and I'll say location. All right, perfect. So there we have our classes, our booking, and our location. The next thing I want to do is create a little kind of, I forget what you call that, but it's like an infographic, if I can say it that way, of the lady's face. And when you hover your mouse over it, it's like an introduction, or the lady's giving an introduction to who she is. So to do that, what I did is I have this image here of the lady doing the yoga pose. So I'll right click, open with Adobe Photoshop right there, and we'll let it open. All right, and here all I did was go to this the selection tool, and instead of a rectangular marquee tool, I selected the elliptical marquee tool. And to create a perfect circle, because I wanted a perfect circle of her face, you just hold down Shift. First you select the elliptical marquee tool, and you hold down here to bring up these options. And yeah, I'll select elliptical marquee tool. I'll hold down Shift to get a perfect circle, and then I'll just create a circle right over her face, just like that. Perfect. And then I'll select the selection tool here, and I'll hit Command C to copy. I'll go to File, New, and it's going to copy the dimensions of the selected area of that circle, which is 898 by 898. I'll click OK. Then I'll hit Command V to paste here in this new Photoshop file. And then for the background, I'll just uncheck the background image here, or make it so it's not visible by clicking that little eye icon in the layer, in the background layer. So now we have the image, that perfect circle there of her face. So I'll go to File, Export, Save for Web, and here I want the image size to be 150 by 150 because we don't need it that big. So I just want to resize it before I put it into Adobe Muse. I wanted to save it as a PNG 24 with the transparency on, so we don't see any background and we just have the circle. And then here I'll click Save, and I'll call this Muse for You Profile Pic 2, just like that. All right, I'll go into Muse, and I could have said Profile Picture, but it's okay. Or I could rename it. Where did it go? Yeah, here we go. I'll say Profile Picture. Okay. And then here is the image that I just saved. So I'll click, hold, and drag, place onto my Adobe Muse website, and there it is. So the next thing I want to do is bring in the composition widget, and that's a feature in Adobe Muse. So I'll go to Object, Insert Widget, Composition, and I'll click on Blank. So here I have a blank composition. I just need one trigger. So I'll delete these first two triggers. And what a composition does is that it allows you to have like an infographic appear, or a box with info in it appear when you hover over an element on your Adobe Muse website. So here's the trigger. So if I click on the trigger, this box will appear. So what I want to do is take this image and place it inside the trigger. And you'll know that it's inside the trigger when the trigger becomes kind of like, there's a dark blue border around the trigger. So I zoomed in here. I'm going to click, hold, and drag and place this image right in the trigger. And we can see that the trigger is now, the color is a little bit darker. The border is a thicker blue border. And I'll just click and let go on the trigger. And now we have the trigger here. And we want the trigger to cover the entire image. So I'll just make sure that the trigger covers the entire image. And then I'll click in the trigger. For the trigger, I want it to be transparent so that the image just shows. And for the trigger active states and the normal states, we want to make sure that those are transparent as well. Sometimes you'll change the color for the active state, but the normal rollover and mouse down state still have that gray color. And here for the stroke, I don't want any stroke to the trigger. And again, I'll check all the other states. The stroke is gone. And we're just left with that picture that's in the trigger. So just as an example, I'll bring in the target. This is called the trigger, and this is called the target, this area here. So there's our target, and if I go to File, Preview Page, or I could have gone to Preview Page in Browser, not Site. Nothing's happening yet, but we have the target there. And what I want to do for the composition is click on the entire composition, and you'll know that the entire composition is selected when there's like a dotted line around the trigger and the target. So here I'll go to the composition options by clicking this blue circle with the arrow. And for the show target, I want it to show on roll over. I want to hide the target on roll out. So when our mouse is off the image of the lady, it's going to hide the target, which is this gray space here, this gray area. The transition, I want it to be fading, so it's a nice smooth kind of, or it'll be anyways because there's only one target here, so we can just leave that on fading there. If you had multiple, then you could have the transition be horizontal or vertical so that it would move kind of in a slide manner, like a slideshow almost. But we'll leave fading here because it's not going to really affect this composition here. Initially, I want all the targets to be hidden, so I'll click on Hide All initially. And that's it. And we don't need to enable swipe because there's just one target. And that's basically it. So now if I go to File, Preview Page in Browser, and I roll over my mouse, we can see that that composition or that target appears, which is what I want because I want people to know about this lady before, once they visit the website, they can just hover over here and it'll be an explanation. So for the target, I'm going to style it a little bit. I'm going to say green. For the background, I don't want a stroke to it, so I'll take off the stroke, and the rollover states, mouse down state and active state are all good. Usually when you click on the normal state and you change anything on the normal state, it'll change it for the other ones. It's only if you're like on active state and you change it on the active state that the other states might not change. So I'll click on normal there, and we have it green here. So again, I'm going to go back to the first website I created here. And I'm just going to copy this text in here so I don't have to rewrite it, and just paste it in the target. Again, I know that this element or this text is in the target when the target becomes like the border becomes thicker and it has that blue color. And then I can resize the target. So I'll just grab the target and resize it just like that. And perfect. So we have this nice kind of target here. And then I'll just move the target. I'll select the target, and we know it's selected because we have that dotted border around it, and then I'll just move it right next to the trigger right here. I'll move it up a little bit just like that. That looks good. So I'll go to File, Preview Page in Browser. I'll hover over, and here we have the composition widget showcasing more information about Stephanie, which is the yoga instructor here. She might not look like a Stephanie, but I couldn't think of a name for the lady there. Okay, so there's the composition widget. I think the last thing we want to do is add the menu. And actually, before I add the menu, I'll go into the library panel and I'll type in font smoother because I want this the font to be a little bit smoother. So I'll select the font smoother light widget and just bring it in here, and that'll make the font look a little bit smoother. All right, that looks good. The next thing is bringing in the wave menu widget. So I'll go to the library panel. I'll type in wave menu, and here we have wave menu widget 1.1. So I'll click, hold, and drag and place onto my Adobe Muse website. There we have wave menu widget 1.1. The update just has a new widget interface, and it allows you to make certain colors transparent. Okay, so for the color of the menu, I want it to be white. All right, so there it is, white. And for the link color, I want it to be this green. The link cover color, I'll say green. Icon color, I'll say green. For the open button, I want the background or the text color to be green, the background color to be white, and the border color, no, I don't want any border on it, so I'll say 0. And for the close button, I want it to be green, the green that we sampled from the website. And to change the font of the menu items in the menu, I'll just click on the menu, I'll go to text. Here I'll go to the text option in Adobe Muse and just select the text Carm here that I've been using for the website, and this will change the text inside the widget. So There we have the text change, and if I go to File, Preview Page, and Browser, and we see Open Menu here is on the left. It's not what I want it on the right, so I'll select the menu again. And for the open button, here for the open button position vertical, I do want it on the bottom, but I want the horizontal position on the right, so I'll select right. And then for the open button border radius, I'm going to say 100, because I want it to be more of a rounded button. And then for the open button text, I'm going to say menu, all capital, so it doesn't say open menu. Then I'll go to File, Preview Page, and Browser just to see how it looks. There we have the menu button and the menu text. Looks good. And I do want the text to be a little bit larger in the menu, so I'll select the widget here. I'll go to text and I'll say 18. Okay, so that looks good. And I think that's all we have to do for the styling of the menu. Let me just check here. Yep, the button's bigger and the text is bigger there. Looks good. All right, so now I'm just going to link the menu to different anchor points. So I'll go to menu items. For the first menu item text, I'll say home. The second menu item text, I'll say classes. The third menu item text, I'll say booking. And the last menu item text, I'll say location. And then for the anchor, I'll say home, the hashtag home. Yeah, hashtag. And then for the classes, I'll say hashtag classes. The booking, I'll say hashtag booking. Location, I'll say hashtag location. And then I'm going to leave the icons just the way they are, but you can choose from over, like, I think it's 600 now, Font Awesome icons. And if you go to fontawesome.io, which here I'll just go to, yeah, Font Awesome, just like that. I'll type it into Google and I go to Font Awesome. And then here I can go to icons and see all the icons that they have, and they're named the same in the widget. So, you know, if I go to the widget options, go to menu items, and here are all the icons. Okay, and I just want 4 menu items, not 5. So here for select amount of menu items, I'll say 4. And I'll go to File, Preview Page, and Browser. I'll go to my menu, and there it is. So we have home, classes, booking, and location. So none of the menu items will work because we haven't added any anchors to the website. So to add anchors, we simply select the anchor tool here. It's in the left toolbar. So I'll click on it 4 times because I want 4 anchors. So I'll click 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'll place the first one at the top. I'll say home. Then the second one here above classes, I'll say classes. The third one I'll place above booking. I'll call this booking. And the last one here I'll place above location, and I'll call this location. Then I'll go to my layers panel and I'll hold down shift to select all the anchors, and then I'll click align and center and make sure that's aligned to the content area, and I'll say center there. All right, so that all the anchor points are centered, and then I'll move them a little bit above each of the headings so we have some spacing when it scrolls to the anchor. It doesn't cut off the heading there. Okay, and then for the home, I want to make sure that it's at the 0 point, so I'll go to my y-axis here and set this to 0. And that's basically it. So now if I go to File, Preview Page, and Browser, and I click on my menu, I go to Classes, it goes to the classes, Booking goes to Booking, and Location goes to Location. We do want to add some more scroll space to the bottom of the website so that the location section scrolls all the way to the top, and we just did that by grabbing this outermost tab here, and the first one here at the bottom of the page here in Adobe Muse, and just dragging down or dragging up or down there, and we can add some more scroll space to the website. Okay, so one more time: File, Preview Page, and Browser, Menu, Classes, Booking, Location. All right, looks good. Perfect. I really like the way that looks. And there's just a few last things. I'm just going to write yoga here. So I'll select the text tool, write yoga, select Carm for the font, say 48, make it white, and just place right here next to the lady. And then I'm going to add some other text that says book now. I'm going to change the text size to 18, say book now, first class is free, just like that. Oops, went to the wrong, there, went to Photoshop. And then I'm going to link this text here to the booking anchor so that when someone clicks on here, it goes all the way to the booking section. And that is it, I believe. I'll go to File, Preview Page in Browser, and Book Now, first class is free. Takes us to the booking section right there. Let's try that again. I think it's because this is a different, it's accessing this from Square Up, so we're having a little bit of a thing there. Could be because we want the menu to be in front, but you can play with this. I'll arrange bring to front. I'll go to File, Preview Page in Browser, and I'll click, and that's a bit better. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we can see that this booking is just trying to kind of load and at the same time go to the booking system, but it's not a really big thing. You can just scroll down to it and go to it there. I'll go to booking. Yeah, and it's the first time because it needs to load the booking system. So what happens is it goes, when you click on the option here, it goes to the booking system and then the booking system loads, and that's why we have that little kind of effect there when you go to the booking system. All right, so I'll go back here to home. Looks good. I'll close the menu. You do want to make sure that the menu is on top of everything else, so that when you click menu, you don't have anything on top of the menu. And we just did that by right clicking here on the menu, right clicking and arrange and bring to front. All right, and the last thing I'll do is style the scroll bar. So in my library panel, I'll go to the scroll bar widget. I'll just type in scroll bar, and I'll go to the scroll bar style with speed widget. Just drop that in there. And then for the scroll bar easing, I'll just click on linear. And for this, I'll do something like ease out cubic right here. And you can choose from 32 different easing options for the scroll bar easing. And then for the width, I'll say 6. Scroll bar width. The scroll bar, excuse me, yeah, the scroll bar track, I want the background color to be white, so I'll select white here. That looks good. I don't want a border width to the scroll bar, so I'll say 0. The scroll bar thumb, which is the smaller piece or the smaller scroll bar within the larger one, I want that to be green, the green that we sampled from the website. The border radius we can leave at 10. I don't want a border width on the scroll bar, so we don't need to worry about the border type or border color. And the stripes, I don't want any stripes, so for the stripe opacity, I'll set to 0. And that is it. So now if I go to File, Preview Page in Browser, we have the customized scroll bar there with the green. And that just adds a little bit of styling to the website, a little more styling to show that the scroll bar belongs to this website. All right, so there's our scroll bar, and that is it. We've covered everything in this website. We just built a yoga website with a booking system in Adobe Muse and using Square Up, the appointment system from squareup.com. The first 30 days are free, and then it's $30 a month after the 30 days. And we added the wave menu widget from museforyoushop.com. We added the Muse Motion 2 widget from museforyoushop.com. The Muse Motion 2 widget is powered by GreenSock, the GreenSock animation platform. We added the composition widget here, and this was the composition widget from Adobe Muse, and the booking system is there, the Google Maps widget from Adobe Muse as well, and looks good. And we added the font smoother from museforyoushop.com. So I believe that's it for this widget. One thing, I'm not going to go over the responsive design, but some of these elements are responsive already. You'll just want to kind of go through and maybe make the text smaller, like add a breakpoint. So if I right click, add breakpoint, and I'll say 320 for an iPhone 5S. And then you can see you can just change all of these elements so that they fit inside the responsive and everything looks good and responsive. I'm not going to go over that in this video tutorial, but it's fairly simple to make the responsive in Adobe Muse. And if you are working with responsive, a great tool if you're on a Mac is so let me just preview this in the browser again. So I'll go to File, Preview Page in Browser. I'll copy this URL here. I'll go into Safari, new tab, Command and V to paste. And then if I want to see how this is going to look on responsive, I can just go to Develop and then click on Enter Responsive Design Mode in Safari. And here I can see how my website will look on different devices. All right, so I can add breakpoints in Adobe Muse and design my website to those breakpoints. All right, looks good. All right, so I like the way this website looks. You know, it's just really clean website, nice colors, a little bit of animation, and a booking system, which I think is a good feature if you have a service or you want to have people book on your website. And then with the SquareUp app, you can check out your appointments on your app there. All right, so one more time, I'm just going to preview this in the browser. I'll go to File, Preview Page in Browser. We have the animation here, the leaves animate. Looks good. That's the Muse Motion 2. Click on the menu. We have the menu here. If I go to classes, we go to the classes section. I can scroll down to booking, and as we can see, there's more fluidness to the easing because we used ease out quad for the scroll bar speed. All right, go to booking. The booking is right there. Location right there. So we have booking, classes, and home. So if I refresh, and looks good, go to booking. Yeah, that's all perfect. Awesome. Looks good. So I really like this website. It was fun creating it and showing you how to create it. So if you do yoga, you can create your website today and just have fun with building your website. And I just remembered I didn't go over one thing, and that was the audio, which is a really cool part of the website. So to add the audio, I'm going to go to the library panel, and I'm going to type in mute, unmute, and we're going to use the mute, unmute audio widget from museforyoushop.com. And I want the audio to be unmuted initially. And actually, before I add this widget, I want to add the add first widget. So I'll click, hold, and drag and place onto my Adobe Muse website. And I'll place it right there. And then for the mute, unmute audio widget, I want it to be unmuted initially. So I'll click, hold, and drag and place onto my Adobe Muse website. And I'll just place it right up here in the upper right-hand corner and pin it to the upper right. So I'll click on the widget options. Let me zoom in a little bit more, just like that, so I can see the widget options, or I'll just move it to see them. And then for the audio, I'm just gonna add an MP3. You can add a .ogg and a .wav for fallback on different browsers, but for now I'm just gonna add the MP3. So I'll go to my audio folder, and then I have this Crystal Waters audio here from purpleplanet.com, and I'll leave a link to it in the description area below. So here I'll double click, and yeah, they have some really nice royalty-free music on purpleplanet.com. And for the unmuted image, I'll click on add file, and I want it to be this, let's see, the music player here. And then for the muted image, I'll click add file and add that file there. Okay, so there we have that, and I want the width to be 50 by 50, which is good. Then I'll bring it to the right, and that is it for adding audio. So I'll go to File, Preview Page in Browser, and there we have the audio, which is kind of a key part of this website, which I probably should have gone over earlier, but it's kind of nice because I didn't have to keep muting the audio as I'm working on it. So we have this really nice audio to it, this really nice wave menu, very smooth, booking, location, and home. All right, looks good. And if the user wants to mute the audio, they just click here and it mutes the audio. Perfect. All right, so I think I've covered everything, and let me just put this widget down here just for design purposes. Preview page in browser, and looks good. All right, perfect. So we've covered everything. We're using quite a few widgets from museforyoushop.com. So to get access to all these widgets, I'm not going to go over the website again because I've gone over it a few times. So to get access to all these widgets, you simply go to museforyoushop.com. And then here you can click on the pop-up, and here you can get access to all widgets and any new widgets I come out with for $39 a year by clicking subscribe here. Or if you'd like to subscribe with PayPal, you can click here and subscribe with PayPal. To purchase the widgets individually, I have them here. So I have the Muse Motion 2 widget. I have the, let's see, the wave menu, which is right here. There's the wave menu right there. There's the mute unmute audio widget, which we used for the sound, and just a few other ones. We didn't go over the font awesome, but you can add icons with the font awesome. Yeah, I think I covered most of them. Let's see, Muse Motion, the font smoother. Let's see, the scroll. Yeah, here's the scroll bar style widget, which I use for the scroll bar, and then the font smoother widget as well. All right, so that's pretty much it. Oh, and one last thing, I know this video is super long, but one last thing that I wanted to cover is the Google structured data for fitness websites. So if I type in fitness, I have Google structured data for local business, and you can do reserve a fitness class. So I'll click, hold, and drag and place onto the Adobe Muse website. And here you can fill out all the information for your business. Let's say you have a yoga studio. You can fill out all this information, and your website will show up really nicely in Google. In Google, with all this information, and a person can even see that they can reserve a class on your website by filling out this Google structured data. And then in the search engines, you'll have this really nice snippet when someone's searching for your business. You'll have this really nice snippet, and it's just good for search engine optimization and to kind of stand out amongst other businesses, if you will, by filling out this little card here, this Google structured data information, and you'll just look really nice in the search engines. And then you can go to the go to the Google structured data testing tool, make sure that all the information looks good, and it'll look good in the search engines. And I have a video on Google structured data on how to fill out this information and then test it. I'm not going to go into that in this video tutorial because I've gone over quite a lot in this video tutorial. So there's the reserve fitness class, Google structured data, that you can add to this website and look nice in the search engines, and it goes well with this yoga website here. So, health club ID, health club name, which is kind of the website, street address, and, all the address information, latitude, longitude, telephone number, URL to potential action. So the URL to reserve the class, which would just be the website because the booking system is on the website, the language, reservation name, and the provider name. All right, and then here you can click on Google structured data documentation to learn more about Google structured data. Okay, so that's it. I'm not going to go over any more widgets in this video tutorial. So the Google structured data is in the SEO bundle, but if you did just want the local business structured data, it's right here, and it has, for the different businesses there, and it has the reserve fitness class, or actually, it's in the local business here. Okay. All right, so that's the widgets. And if you did want to purchase individually, let's say I click on Muse Motion. Here I can click add to cart to purchase individually, or again, I can get access to all widgets and any new widgets I come out with by clicking here and subscribing. You can get access to all widgets and any new widgets I come out with. So that's it for this video tutorial. I had a lot of fun creating this yoga website. If you do have a business or you offer a service and you want a booking system, this is a really fun way, and it doesn't take very long to make the website and then have a live website with a booking system. And if you did want web hosting, you could just click up here for web hosting, and it goes to Bluehost. I use Bluehost a lot for my websites for web hosting, and it's very easy to upload your website once it's done. And I do have a video tutorial on that on my YouTube channel. Okay, so that's it for this video tutorial. I know I covered a lot of information, but again, I do this to help you build awesome websites in Adobe Muse. That's why I do it, to help you build awesome websites in Adobe Muse. If you like this video tutorial, you can subscribe below. Also, in the show more section below are links to other resources and links to museforyoushop.com. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video tutorial. Thank you.